All right, today we're getting back to work on the junkyard Skylark, and I gave myself a deadline. We've got about a month, give or take, to get this thing from roller, no interior, no wiring, no fuel system, to hopefully turnkey, drive it around. Oh, what have I gotten myself into?
That's bad.
Alright, what's going on, guys? We're going to get back to work on the Skylark today. I was working on it yesterday, had a little bit of trouble. You can see I got the engine torn apart. I was trying to do all this in the car. This is the 6.0 that I got on a package deal with the aluminum 5.3 that's sitting in the 55 right now. So I was going to toss a cam in it, and when I bought this, full disclosure, the guy said that the guy he got it from said it had low oil pressure, and he worked at a shop. You can see they put a new pump on it, still had low oil pressure, and he was like, I think it's the front cam retaining plate. So I was like, screw it, those things are 14 bucks on Amazon. Picked one of those up. Oh man, my cardboard fell. Happens. So I picked one of those up, and I was gonna swap the cam out. I got a sloppy stage 2 over on the shelf there with some springs, and the cam made it to that far, and it is stuck. So, started looking through the lifter bores. Don't know how well you'll be able to see. One of the cam bearings towards the back there spun, and that's what the low oil pressure was about. And it is stuck on the cam. Can't get this thing out. At least not in the car. I can probably flip it over and pull stuff out of the way and cut that cam bearing out. And then I should be able to get this thing out and hopefully pop new cam bearings in. Hopefully it didn't spin in too much and ruin anything. Might be able to just glue some new ones in. I'm hoping they didn't run it for too long. Seems like they didn't, but you know, who knows. So I'm not going to be scrapping that because obviously just a cam bearing. As long as the block's okay, can toss a new one of those in pretty easily. But in an effort to try to get this thing done reasonably quickly so that I can free up space in the garage for Dave's ramp truck that's coming in, I'm gonna rob the 5.3 out of the 55, because that one is more or less just mock-up. That's the motor that I'm actually going to put together for the 55, which is also an aluminum 5.3. This one is a Gen 4 5.3, and I already have the 4L80 bolted up to it, because I was initially going to use the 4L80 and the 55, but now that's getting a Turbo 400. This is getting the 80E and the cool-ass shifter that I bought, which I'm bummed about. I'd like to just put a basic shifter in this and put the precision in this, but I already bought it for the 4L80, and I'm too lazy to deal with switching stuff over. So I've got to wrestle that front clip off so I can get everything out of there and stab it down in here, which means switching the motor mounts, switching the oil pan, switching the pickup, switching the windage tray. I'll probably, I'll leave that oil pump on it. That one doesn't need it. I might use that oil pump on the new motor actually. And then, yeah, hopefully we're back in business. I don't expect it to, but it would be the dream. A dream come true if I could stab the engine and transmission down here in one piece, but I don't know if we're gonna get that lucky. Oh, and here is just a little 380, quick little inline fuel pump I'm gonna put on this thing. Some 6AN fuel line kit, which should be good. Corvette style fuel filter regulator. These are like 34 bucks on Amazon. Good deal. And I haven't tried this Permatex Ultra Slick assembly lube yet, so this was 7 bucks. Picked that up. Haven't gotten to use it yet. So hopefully we get to use that today. And some fresh head gaskets that we'll toss on it. All right, enough talking. I'm gonna throw the headphones on, get to work on everything, and try and get some stuff knocked out. All right, got the old engine out of the 55. Oil pan and all that. Stabbed on this one. These turbo headers are on it just to give me ideas. Bad ideas. Yep, a little bit. Look who made it over. Yeah, we can go down a ways, I think.
Yeah, but I'm into the motor mount over here.
Oh, all right. Let's hold on. There we go. All right. I can't see what's going on over there. Oh. All right. Yeah, a little bit. All right. We finally got the motor all in place. Had to pull the trans off to get it in the right angle. Had to switch the oil pans. Pops is trying to take off before I can tell him thank you on camera. Thanks for the help. Yeah, I needed his help getting the front clip off the 55. And then just team working all of this, but we got it all in place. It's looking pretty good. Motor mounts are actually bolted up. Ended up putting a truck pan back on this thing. I know it's going to eat up some ground clearance, but we've still got a pretty good amount. I know the front end's going to come down more as we put weight on it. There's probably like another 200-300 pounds we're going to put on this thing. But I think the truck pan's our best solution for now. It clears the frame perfectly, and for whatever reason, with the Holley swap mounts, the Holley 3022 oil pan, the Chinese version, but let's be honest, it's the same casting, just not as finished. It hit the cross member, just the front corner of it too, just right there. If I sectioned this cross member out, it would have cleared no problem. But I didn't want to redo the brake lines, so now we got our aluminum 5.3 in here. Still have to swap the cams in it, which all this work to get back to where I was 2 days ago. Yeah, the headers are just mocked up to see how they clear. The steering shaft is in place, so that'll work. I might ding this one in a skosh. It's not going to be anything like the S10. I mean, it technically clears, but it might rub it. We'll see. I might be able to just tilt the steering column over a little bit to kick that out. But yeah. Jeez Louise, man. If anybody ever tells you that they work on their cars to relax, don't trust that person. They are full of shit. This stuff sucks. Our junkyard Skylark is finally starting to come back together. I am a little worried about trying to fit the transmission in there because these motor mounts are kind of stiff. They don't seem to have a whole lot of flex to them. So that could be a pain in the ass. But we've got plenty of room for the bell housing bolts. So it's just trying to fit it in the tunnel, which I don't know how much faith I have in it anymore because these mounts and oil pan were supposed to work perfect. But with the Holley setup in this location, it's supposed to clear. They say that the back section of the case right in here, you might have to dent the floor a little bit. If that's the case, that's no problem. Our floor is not that great to begin with, so I'm not opposed to that. But if it comes to having to cut the sections of the tunnel out, that sucks. It's not the end of the world, obviously, but it's more work than I was hoping to do. And like, if it comes to that, why wouldn't I have just cut it a bunch so that I could fit the engine further back in the stock small block Chevy location? So like I said, I still have to swap the cam, sloppy stage 2 cam, something kind of torquey, sounded good at idle, has a nice rumble to it because this is street cruiser, hot rod. I'll probably still swap the other heads on it because they got the springs in them already, and I don't know, we might leave them gold. Who knows? Put the injectors in the intake, mount fuel pump, run the fuel lines, transmission in, core support, radiator, all that. Holley system, odds and ends here and there. Thing fires up, drives like a dream. Let's go to Texas. So it is starting to get kind of late here, so I think I'm going to call it for the night, and we'll pick this back up in the morning, hopefully tossing a cam back in this thing. All right, we've got some interesting developments with this motor. This side looking pretty normal, like it's never come apart. You know, you can see the transfer of the gasket and everything. Flat top pistons, that's nice, so it should have decent compression. Flat tops with 243 799s should put it like 9.8, 9.9 to 1. And then over here, a completely different head gasket, like a Felpro one versus the stock GM style MLS. Yeah, Felpro 261 something something trash. And somebody surfaced the head and the block with like a wire wheel or something. Huh. Pretty interesting. Not what I would have done. For what we're doing, I'm not worried about it, but I found it pretty interesting. To me, it looks like this thing never ran since they put the head gasket on it. Another thing, I completely forgot that this would be a 1-bolt cam. And we're putting a 3-bolt cam in it, so I've got to come up with another timing gear, which I might have for a 4X sensor. So I was thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure that this is the first complete actual Gen 4 LS that I've messed with. I usually like to stick to the Gen 3 stuff. It's a lot simpler and it's a lot cheaper. You don't have to deal with the DOD lifters and stuff, which is why we're going to have to put those lifters in it, because these ones should be that stupid ass. Yeah, you can see here. And then I'm gonna have to plug a bunch of holes under here, or do what I did on the Fiero and just buy a new valley cover that has little O-rings and everything to seal them off. So now we can pull the lifters out, pull the valley cover off, get the cam out, take a peek at that, and hopefully all the cam bearings stay in place. Let's see this thing. Yeah, it spins over nice and easy. So I think we should be good there. Now, even though we are replacing it, these VVT 1-bolt cams are actually super valuable. You can resell them for a lot of money, so make sure you take care of them. We're about to break the law with LS engines. We're going to look at the cam bearings, and looks pretty good. A little bit of wear, but I'm not seeing any copper. So, funny thing about this cam, you can see eBay part number. This is the eBay, what was it, $140, $130, something like that. It was real cheap. Sloppy Stage 2 cam. Now, when I was building the Cheap Thrills S10 a couple months ago, I bought this cam for that. And when that one showed up, it had like an 1/8 inch, 3/16 of an inch nick out of the very back lobe, like the lifter lobe. It wasn't all the way across it. It was kind of like a little, like, let's say this is the edge of the lobe. It just was a little bit of the corner. So I sent them an email and I was like, hey, you know, this cam's fucked, dude. I can't use this thing. And they're like, all right, we'll send you a new one. You want the springs too? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure somehow this cam being fucked up ruined my springs, so send me some springs too. Those are over there in a box. So they sent me this, and I still use that cam in the S10. That's the one that's been in it. The lifter, I mean, who knows? That lobe could crack and come apart, but it's been good so far. So what I'm trying to get at is this cam was actually free. Thanks, eBay. Now, don't get me wrong, I 1000% should not have put that other cam in there. But I thought it fit the spirit of the build to throw in some beat up junk eBay cam in there. We'll start it there. This name's not no joke. This stuff is ultra slick. Golly, this is making a mess. Holy crap. I feel like this almost shouldn't be allowed on YouTube. This looks so derogatory. This needs to be on that orange and black website. I know you know which one I'm talking about too. This needs to be behind a paywall or something. There we go. Yeah. Look at that. Jesus, looks like it jerked off a jelly bean or something. All right, we have been moving right along on this thing. I think it looks so much better having some color in the engine bay now instead of the black block over there. And I noticed they did change up the color on our gold paint a little bit. This, I thought, was the same stuff I used on that block. You can tell that's a whole lot deeper than this. Anyway, we got our cam in, lifters in, all that's good. Heads still need to be torqued down. And you will notice I got the valley cover pulled off of it. Where did I set that? Over here. You can see this whole brain of stuff going on here. Yeah, this is not going to go back on. So, things I got ordered that we are now waiting for. I got a 4X cam gear ordered and a new timing cover. And I could have reused the stock valley cover and just put some plugs in here. But for like 10 bucks more, you can get a nice deleted valley cover that's nice and flat. Same one I put on the Fiero, actually. So I figured, screw it. Just go with that, make it look a little bit nicer. So that's the stuff we're waiting on now. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for today's video. We're kind of all tapped out right now. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are enjoying the progress on the Skylark. We're going to try and get this thing knocked out relatively quick and make room for other projects. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking the bell to get the notifications. I'll see you next time.